I just finished making a video just like this every day for a year straight, without missing a day, which I'm pretty proud of. The whole thing started based on some video my brother sent me on YouTube, and the idea was just do something you want to do, you've always wanted to do, you're passionate about, whatever. Do it every day for a year, the same thing, and just see where it goes, see what happens. And it was, at the time, it was just kind of the kickstart I needed to do something. And I loved the freedom of it. I loved the idea that there was no plan, there was no goal, there was no measurement of success per se. It was just do it. And the only thing that mattered was committing to it. And I think what I liked about that was completely in my control. If the challenge was, get 500 YouTube subscribers, or, something in terms of results that were out of my control, that may have been more deflating or more pressure. But this was just, hey, can you commit to something for a year? Something that you want to do anyway. So I like that. I like that it was in my control. And it was simple and it was straightforward. So I did it. And what's interesting is the benefit, the result of it that I ended up getting was perhaps completely different, or not perhaps, it was completely different than I actually thought it was going to be. When I started making the videos, I probably wouldn't have admitted this, but my thought was like, I'll probably become pretty successful with this. Like, I'll get thousands of subscribers watching these videos. People will be amazed at how insightful and brilliant they are. And this is kind of the thing that's been missing. I just needed to do this. Once I get it out there, it'll kind of take off on its own and it'll be great. If you're watching this video, you may have noticed that I have 10 YouTube subscribers, and over the 365 videos I made, I haven't uploaded all of them to YouTube yet, some of the earlier ones, but out of all those videos, I don't know, I probably have a total of like less than 500 views. Maybe right around there, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. So the vision that I had for it clearly wasn't right. But what I did get out of it, what ended up being the outcome, was far more internal, and I'd like to think far more impactful and far more important than I ever would have suspected. The changes I've made for myself, in some ways the rewiring of my brain and behavior and the way I think, the improvements that I've noticed in just my overall quality of life, how I feel about myself, confidence that I have, like an overall sense of like content and fulfillment, all of that has gone up exponentially. And that wasn't expected. I didn't see that coming, partially because I didn't really think I had that much room to change. I wasn't being all that thoughtful about it. Partially because I wouldn't have connected the dots that this would lead to that. But what ended up happening was you spend a year recording yourself, talking to yourself pretty much about concepts and philosophies on life and approaches to try and think better and make better decisions and be a better parent and all these things. You have a decision to make when you start doing that. You could be full of shit and just say stuff that you think sounds good that you'll never actually execute on and never actually live up to yourself. Or you could actually embrace those changes. And it's a hard road to try and go the first path. When you're making these videos every day and you're forced to face it, there's a level of accountability that comes with that. There's a level of feeling like, hey, if I'm going to be full of shit, I'm going to have to admit I'm full of shit because this is too obvious. It's too clear. I can't hide from this. In many ways, as I talk about these videos, our subconscious is constantly looking for that flex in the system. Our subconscious likes to have flexibility because it doesn't know which way it's going to go, but it wants to protect us and it wants to keep us comfortable. So it doesn't want to be boxed into a corner. It doesn't want to be held accountable. It wants to be able to go that way, and then if that way gets uncomfortable, switch and go the other way, and just seamlessly do that and spin a story to ourselves of why it makes perfect sense. And we're not hypocrites, even though we're not doing what we said we were going to do. But when you're forced to make and watch a video of yourself every day for a year, talking about these things, that's not a lot of flex in the system. There's not a lot of room to bullshit yourself. And that's pretty much what I witnessed. Truth be told, I don't know where it goes from here. Maybe the end game is just I'm a better person now. Hopefully, better habits, think better, be better as a person. But I'd like to think there's more to it. I'd like to think this goes somewhere. But much like I did with those videos, over the last year, I don't want to be too deliberate. I don't want to be too narrow in my view of what happens from here. I'd like to think that it's much like the video. Just do that thing that you want to do, the right thing, the logical thing, the thing that feels good, whatever it is that you determine or I determine that's important to me. Just start doing it, and then continuously do it. Do the thing that's in your control, and just do it over and over and over again. And if these videos are any indication, good things will happen. Maybe not the things you expect, maybe not the things you thought you wanted, but good things will happen, and kind of just let that play out. Because, and I'll end with this, as I always say, if you are being thoughtful and you are questioning and you develop clarity on the situation, whatever situation that might be, in this case it was myself and understanding myself better and what I really wanted, you're always going to be better off.